At the time of me recording this video, details on the first ever World Cup of professional wrestling are quite scarce. I mean, obviously, my favourite detail is that we literally did this ourselves in 2017, but lol, like that's going to stop WWE. That being said, though, a 16-man elimination tournament does feel like a good fit for both the company and its roster, and contained within both are a lot of good candidates to take part. Some are genuine contenders, some could just emerge to be that, but either way, World Cups are absolutely brilliant, so let's talk about it. My name is Adam Cleary, and these are 16 wrestlers for WWE's Crown Jewels. You can say what you like about Jinder Mahal, or Jinder Mahal's ability, or Jinder Mahal's veins, or Jinder Mahal's heavily aggressive nipples, but you cannot dispute the fact that he is a former WWE champion, and former WWE champions carry with them a certain pedigree. If WWE wish to position this tournament as more than, look, here are 15 foreigners we're going to job out to an American, then they need to have genuine contenders taking part. And again, say what you like about him, but they have a horrible habit of booking him strongly. WWE might not care about Finn Balor, and yes, spoiler alert, they absolutely don't, but fans do care about Finn Balor, and fans caring is going to be one of the biggest hurdles they face with this competition. Yes, you need to have people who can believably win, but you also have to have people the fans want to see win. Finn Balor is, of course, both of these things, and while he'll never get his hands on the top title again, probably a one-off feather in his cap is precisely what he needs in 2018. We are going to see at least one six-man tag match between The Shield and the Dogs of War, and I hate to ruin all the fun for everybody, but that is still just a program designed to put Roman over. But still, the sight of Drew McIntyre pinning a succession of stars in this tournament could make up for, say, I don't know, 9 seconds worth of the hype package in the six-man tag. Like, look, we all know he's going to turn on Dolph, and that's going to be his big angle, but that probably won't be until next year, so this year he could really do with this. Now, you might think this whole tournament is nothing more than a gigantic waste of time, cynically organised by some questionable Saudi oil money, designed to do nothing else than please about 5 people in the crowd and get WWE some news coverage in a territory they have marked as developing. And, well, admittedly, yes, you would be right, but it's also, let's not forget, a chance to debut some new stars. Throwing New Zealand's Travis Banks into this, even if it is only just a first-round exit to a much, much bigger name, is a great way for WWE to introduce their fans to one of their shrewdest acquisitions of the last few years. The man has been earmarked as a probable winner of next year's Royal Rumble, but is yet to even make his full pay-per-view debut. Now, yes, of course, winning this tournament or even being in it won't make him a main eventer overnight, but it gives him the chance to go over much, much, much bigger names, which will move his CV away from just the guy who had that good NXT match. It simply is not a World Cup unless Germany are in it somehow. That's all I've got. Look, it is 2018 in WWE. Wins and losses don't affect your career trajectory anymore. The first 2 or 3 matches in any feud are a complete waste of time, yada yada, etc, etc. Just book the guy from Saudi Arabia to win the World Cup in Saudi Arabia. I mean, why not? The crowd would absolutely love it, and who's it gonna hurt? I still can't quite believe that at Greatest Royal Rumble, WWE booked an angle between Iran and Saudi Arabia in real life. Like, that is peak problematic then, but at the same time, it was one of the few things that night that got any reaction from the crowd. Daivari was, of course, actually born in Minnesota, but this is a World Cup. It is expected that people will lean on their family heritage in order to take part. Are you Americans getting all these football jokes? I can never tell what lands. We have seen the square root of bot-all from Killian Dane on SmackDown thus far, but he, along with Adam Cole, was the standout performer in last year's War Games match, and to be fair, he's the kind of monster we could do with seeing a little bit more of. Perhaps by wrestling a singles match, or indeed any kind of match at all, Vince might remember that A, he exists, and B, that he really likes watching big lads brutalize little men. Honestly, Cesaro is he's just great. He's explosive, he's inventive, he's as strong as an ox, he's got the body of a goddamn frog hopper. The guy can win the crowd over to a match that absolutely nobody bothered to promote. I mean, after all, they've got a 10-year deal in Saudi Arabia. They need guys like him. Rusev is surely a no-brainer for this one, right? The guy is legitimately Bulgarian. He's a name performer. He's incredibly talented. He wrestled The Undertaker at Greatest Royal Rumble and wasn't squashed inside of 3 minutes, so there's a chance the crowd might actually remember him. And if nothing else, whoever wins this will never ever be allowed to bring it up on TV, so you might as well give it to Ruru so we can get some kind of Twitter crack out of it. Is there anybody in WWE right now who needs a face-saving achievement to salvage 2018 quite like Shinsuke Nakamura? The guy won the Rumble, then went on to have one of the most minging feuds I've ever seen in my life, which disintegrated into nothing, and then he just knocked Jeff Hardy in the dangles for the United States Championship. Like, don't get me wrong, some tin pot competition on the opposite side of the world won't fix all this, but it will remind us to take him seriously. Yes, no, sorry, of course. How silly of me. There is one person who needs something to salvage 2018 a little bit more than Nakamura. KO needs something to end the year on a high, even as bad as Kenny Omega needs to delete his Twitter. Now, people are still somehow invested in Owens and invested in seeing him do well, so this gives the company the perfect opportunity to do that without having to commit to anything long-term. Please. Buddy Murphy might actually be in luck big time here because they've got so many different shows going on in so many different parts of the world. There is a chance, a slim chance, that Vince might forget where they actually are and book him to win it for the hometown crowd. And I mean, what's he gonna do? Correct him? Whoever is at the time the WWE United Kingdom champion needs to take part in this tournament. Like right now, Scotland and Northern Ireland have great representatives, but the English contingent of WWE programming is currently Paige and Drake Maverick. However, in Pete Dunne, they have a fantastic talent currently carrying the belt, who was already shown in his handful of NXT clashes with the Undisputed Era, and of course, that takeover match that he can step onto the main roster, sort of, as and when required. He would be great for this. Myself and one of the great men, Michael Sidgwick, spent ages debating who should be the USA representative on this list because, frankly, there are absolutely loads. Simply put, the American entrant cannot win a tournament in Saudi Arabia because it's the most eye-rolling, self-aggrandizing outcome imaginable, but more importantly than that, they cannot go over there and just job out because this is America! Damn it, and your brave boys don't go onto foreign soil just to get their tummies tickled, do they? Chad Gable is, by this logic, the only person you can have for the USA. He's got that all-American feel to him anyway, which you need in a global tournament. He's good enough that he can beat people without it being a bit tacky, but crucially, most importantly of all, he is low enough down the pecking order that he gets something of an underdog spirit. He can go over even when he goes out. And when he does go out in, I don't know, ideally like the semi-finals or something, it still feels like he's overcome the odds to an extent. It gives everybody back home something to get behind without them being disappointed that they haven't won. So there you have it, fantasy booking all 16 entrants for a tournament where, admittedly, we don't know how many entrants are going to be taking part. Anyway, what fun. Let us know what you made of it in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at Adam Cleary, WhatCulture Wrestling on Twitter over here somewhere. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I have, of course, been Adam Cleary. This was a Cleary Sidgwick joint, and I'll see you soon.